Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to Jen's Place. Today I will be doing a review of My 600-Pound Life, and this one is Samantha's story. She is 35 years old. She weighs in at 800 pounds. She lives in an apartment by herself in Colorado. And when the episode first comes on, of course, they show her washing up in the bathroom. They always do that with these shows. Um, she's washing up, but she can't fit in the bathtub, so she's sitting on the toilet and she's washing herself up with all these contraptions that she got to use. These little, like, long poles that she's using. Anyways, then she gets up from there. She gets herself all dried, but she can't do it in the bathroom because her bathroom is too small. So she goes and dries herself off in the bedroom as much as she could in the spots that she could reach. Anyways, after that, she gets all dressed up and ready and she orders food from McDonald's. Lord, she got so much food. She got it off of the breakfast menu and the lunch menu. I don't know. I couldn't even count how many burritos that she had, or egg McMuffins, or whatever it was. She had chicken nuggets. I know I seen that. Chicken nuggets and just a whole bunch of stuff. Then, she tells us about her life, which growing up, her dad was a drunk, and so he was like horrible to her mom and to her older sister and brother, but he wasn't horrible to her and her younger sister and her brother, I believe. But anyways, then when she was like 7 years old, I believe 5 or 7, her and her mom and her sister, they moved, to another place because her dad and mom got a divorce. So they moved out, and then her mom started to go to nursing school, so she ended up having to live with her dad for like a year or so. But anyways, when she was 7 years old, she said that she weighed 150 pounds. 150. So, when she lived with her dad, she says that her dad remarried, so he had basically another family. But while she was living there with her dad, she couldn't eat like how she would eat at her mom's house. Like at her mom's house, she got to eat basically whatever she wanted to eat. And at her daddy's house, they was just not having it. Like, no, you are not about to eat like that. So she really didn't have restrictions at her mom's, but she did have restrictions at her dad's house. So, she would go visit her mom like on the weekends, and her mom would let her just eat whatever she wanted. So basically, she looked forward to going over there because, she said that she always had loved food. Then she goes and tells us that when she was 10, she weighed like 200 pounds. And then she was 300 pounds by the time she was 12 years old. And then when she was 17, she weighed 400 pounds. And she was going to school, but she dropped out of school because, she was probably getting bullied and stuff for her size and made fun of or whatever. And so she dropped out of school. Then she got pregnant with her first boyfriend, her first boyfriend ever. Then they moved in together. And then she said all she did the whole 9 months that she was pregnant was eat. So by the time her daughter was born, she weighed over 500 pounds. And then she was like 2 weeks after her daughter was born, her and the boyfriend broke up. And she basically said that it was a toxic relationship, so she didn't, care to deal with them no more after that. So she said she didn't look back, and then then her mom started to help her out with her daughter and stuff because she was getting big. She was already big, too big to do, basic care for her, let alone a daughter. So at that time she was 20 years old, and so um, she said when she was 20 years old, then her dad got killed in a motorcycle accident, and she said she really just hasn't got over his death, but she was glad that her and her dad was close before he passed away, and he did apologize to her for how he treated her and treated her mom and all that before he died. But she got so depressed and she couldn't really do much for herself anymore. So then her daughter went to go live with her mom, So then her mom, when she was 23, she weighed over 600 pounds. And she said she started to feel better, so then she got her daughter back when she was 23 years old. And she got a job in the social services field. So she was working for a little while. Then she just kept getting bigger and bigger, and she lost her job because of her weight. So nobody would hire her, and then she got depressed again, and so she just kept eating. By then, she became bedbound, and she became bedbound. Her daughter found her because she tried to, commit, she tried to kill herself, I guess. I don't know if I could say that on here. Anyway, so she put like 5 fentanyl patches on, and she ended up going to a mental hospital for 3 months. And then when she got out of there, she started to do a modeling thing, like a fetish modeling, where she just eats on camera. And she gets paid though, she gets paid for it. But she said the last time she weighed herself, she was 811 pounds. So that's why she decided to call Dr. Now. And she has an appointment coming up with Dr. Now. But she can't get there because she can't get to Houston because that's where Dr. Now is. And she's all the way in Denver, Colorado. She can't get there because she can't fit in like a regular car or a van or anything like that. So she would have to use a bariatric ambulance, and that's the way that she gets to the hospital, to and from, every time she goes, So after that, after all that, she called Dr. Now, and she asked for his help and all that, but she needs to go to the hospital because she's feeling sick, So she calls 911, and basically they have to send the bariatric ambulance to come and get her. And she really can't walk that well, but she lives on the second floor apartment, so she has to walk down the stairs in order to get to the ambulance. She has to walk down the steps. So she's it's like 7 people that come in and help her just to even get out of the chair that she's sitting in, and they helping her get down the steps. She finally makes it down the steps, and she goes to the hospital. Well, she goes there to find out that she has a kidney stone. Since she's so big, they cannot perform any surgery on her right now, so they can't operate to get the kidney stones out. So they just give her medicine at the hospital. they fill the prescription there instead of having her stop at the pharmacy. She just goes ahead and get the prescription there, get the medicine, and she goes home back in that ambulance, in the bariatric ambulance. And then her daughter comes in, and that's the first time that we see her. She comes over to help her mom, for a few days. And then her mom and sister come over to talk to her, basically to give her encouraging words, and to tell her that her sister says that she just wants her to have a normal life. And her mom is like, excuse me, I need some water. And her mom is like, I gave up on helping her a long time ago, really, like 3 years ago. I basically, you can't help nobody that don't want to be helped. And obviously she wants to live this way, basically. So now, the next day, I guess, she's still feeling bad. And her daughter, I think it was like a few days later, then her daughter comes over, and she done peed in the bed. She done peed like 2 times, she said. And then she said her chest is hurting and her stomach hurts. And so she calls 911 again. She asks her daughter, like, which one should I call? Should I call the non-emergency number or call 911? I don't want to call 911 and just tell them, hey, I'm a fat you know what, and I can't do anything for myself. That was her words, not mine. And so she decides, just to call the non-emergency number. And her daughter told her, just call, the non-emergency number, and because you're gonna need that ambulance to transport you to the hospital again. And so she can barely walk this time because her foot is bleeding. She got it all wrapped up. I don't know what she done did or how she done wrapped it up, but I guess her foot is bleeding because it's like broken down probably from laying down, because she probably got a bed sore, who knows. But her foot is all wrapped up. And anyways, they come and get her, take her to the hospital. The whole way down the steps, she's screaming and crying. And anyways, she gets to the hospital, and they do all these tests and stuff, and run tests. And she feels like that they don't know what's wrong with her. And so anyways, while she's in there for a while, like, I want to say like about 2 months or so. She was in there for 2 months, I believe. Anyway, so while she's in there, she's ordering all this food. She's ordering food from like out to eat places like DoorDash, and she's also eating the food out of the kitchen. She's getting everything she could get. But anyway, so she's there at this hospital, and she done gained 140 pounds since she been in there. These 2 months that she been in that hospital. So now she weighs 940 pounds. And then she does a video call with Dr. Now, because, since she can't go. Oh, and also around this time, that's when COVID had just started. So she can't really travel to Houston anyways, because of the fact that she couldn't find transportation, basically, and the COVID. So anyways, she done gained 140 pounds. Dr. Now asked her, how did you gain 140 pounds while you're in the hospital? Like, what are you doing? So Dr. Now just like, basically, you eating whatever you want to eat. You eating whatever you want to eat. You doing what you want to do. Yeah. And so he asked her, Why is she gaining? Why are you gaining all this weight? And she tells him that she's been sneaking food, ordering food, eating, ordering online. That's all she do is order it online. She got her phone right there, her laptop. What they should have did was took that laptop, took that phone. Like, no, you was not gonna do that. Dr. Now wanted her to have a restricted diet there at the hospital. She was supposed to be on a 12,000 calorie diet a day, so she could only have 12,000 calories a day. And now since she's like uh 940 pounds, Dr. Now tells her that you could go 4 years without eating anything and you wouldn't even starve to death, basically. 4 years. And then she started laughing, but that is a shame, to eat like that. I mean, I know she probably has like some kind of psychological thing going on in her head, but girl, put the food down. Like, if you can, I just don't understand how she could eat like that. I don't understand it. Okay, so now Dr. Now says that he will email her another meal plan, so which is going to be the same 12,000 calorie diet, so she can only eat 12,000 calories a day. And he asked her, like, what is your plan to come to Houston? Like, how are you going to get here? Do you have a plan? Basically, she doesn't have a plan. Dr. Now tells her that she needs to lose 250 pounds or he cannot help her. Like, there's nothing else that he can do. And she said it's going to be hard because the food is her entire life. Like, she has to have food. She don't know what she is without food. So over the next 2 months, she needs to lose, the 250 pounds to be able to walk and do the diet. But Dr. Now feels like, she's not taking this seriously. He feels like she's just doing whatever she wants to do, eating whatever she wants to eat, and just laying in that bed. And he tells her, you need to get out of that bed. You can't just lay in the bed all day. But how can she get up if she can't even move, really? So it's hard for her to even walk without a walker. So around this time, she done spend the 2 months there in the hospital again. And this time she's going to go home. She lost 40 pounds, so she's down to 900 pounds. So her daughter took it upon herself. Her daughter and her boyfriend took it upon themselves, actually, to get her a ground level apartment, so that way she don't have to walk up those stairs. She could just walk right through the gate and get in, So they have to get her out of that ambulance. They get her out of the ambulance and she walks in. But her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend is going to stay with her. Stay with her for a little bit. But as soon as she gets in the house, as soon as the door is closed, she on that phone. She barely got in that bed, and she's on that phone ordering some damn food. Lord, she done ordered her some ribs, some street corn. What else did she order? She ordered like 4 things of corn, a whole thing of ribs, some French fries, some cake, some molten lava cake, and a lemonade. So she still ain't, taking this stuff seriously. So her and her daughter is talking, while she's ordering the food. She's gonna ask them, do y'all want something? Basically, do y'all want something? What are you guys gonna have? They looked at her and said, we ain't, we don't want anything. You done ordered all that? No. I just don't understand where she's getting all this money to order all this food. Like, if you can't even work a job, where is this money coming from? I guess her modeling thing is paying for all the food that she's eating. Anyway, so her daughter basically is telling her, if you can't, after she done ate all the food, she's sitting there crying, with a full stomach, basically. I don't know if she's full or not. Probably not. And she's sitting there crying, and her daughter telling her, basically, I'm just sick of you being so negative about stuff. You should be grateful that, or thankful that we got you this apartment that you could just walk right through. Who is here to help you? Me, I've been the one helping you. I've been the one here to help you out, and you need to be appreciating what I'm doing for you. And then after that, COVID is still going on. Her daughter's still living there with her, but she gets sick again. I guess she hurts her leg or something while she's trying to go get weighed again. And Dr. Now sets her up with a colleague of his that lives in the state that she's in. And they end up having to do a emergency gastric sleeve on her because she's now weighing in at 974 pounds, I believe. Yeah, 974. Dr. Now's like, she was almost to 1,000 pounds. And she was starting to get worse and worse. Her body was declining, she was just going downhill. Her health was declining. So everything was just basically shutting down on her. Anyways, and Dr. Now didn't know how long she was going to survive. So he set her up with the colleague, and the colleague did the gastric sleeve emergency surgery on her and got it done, with no problems. So now she's in the hospital. This is 3 months later. She's in there still. And now she weighs 638 pounds. And she said that is the lowest weight that she has been in 15 years. But she is depressed now because she can't eat what she wants. And then Dr. Now and the colleague of his, I don't remember his name, they do a video chat with each other, and they talk about Sam, and they both agree to transfer her to a sorry about that. They both agree to transfer her to a rehab because her weight loss is basically at a standstill. And so it's at a standstill since she done had the surgery. So the other doctor, the colleague goes in there and meets with Sarah, tells her basically that she's been doing good and all this stuff, and that he's proud of her for what, she has accomplished so far, and that he's basically glad that she is motivated. So he tells her that he's going to transfer her to a rehab hospital, and she needs to work with the behavior specialist and the psychologist and all that, so that way they can get to the root of the problem of her eating disorder, because basically that is an eating disorder. It's not a disorder, to be skinny, but it's an eating disorder, because you can't stop eating. So anyways, while she's in there, she's in there for like, the doctor said he wants her to be there for like 1 month or even longer. So while she's in there, she had got some wounds on her skin, and it was like got infected. And at that time she had lost 500 pounds, and she weighed at 494. And since COVID, they didn't want to send her home because they felt like if they send her home, she's going to continue to just eat and ruin what they already done did, all this hard work. And since it was COVID, they had her record, the last little bit, and it just basically said that she just basically said that she was in a rehab hospital again, and that she won't stop until she gets her life back, and that's what she wants to do. But she just said that she had to get rid of these wounds, and once she get rid of the wounds that she has on her skin, then she's going to continue with her weight loss journey. And coming from 974 pounds to 494 pounds, that's good. She can continue to do that, continue to lose her weight and all that. And that is all that I have, you guys. That's really basically the whole episode. If you liked it, let me know down in the comment section if you heard of the show, if you watched the show, if you liked the review. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys in the next video.